exactly what you want to see. Let's run this puppy in. Score a touchdown and tie this game. Life, run for your life, touchdown on one play. Worked on this in practice. Touchdown. It's up to Kelvin Benjamin. This is all you, buddy. Kelvin Benjamin for a touchdown. Oh, he toasted his man. Holmes toasted his man. Spin move. Oh! Oh! What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the video here in the Water Juice channel, and welcome back to the rest of the recap from week 2 of the NFL season here. And it is just, the NFL season is, NFL in general is just so much fun to watch. And it feels like this season, at least in the first 2 weeks, we've gotten some very, very, very exciting, thrilling, just unbelievable results and performances. It's actually just unbelievable what kind of games we're getting and the kind of content that we're getting to watch and the performances that we're getting to see and stuff. It's just crazy. It just feels like these first 2 weeks are some of the best football we've watched in the NFL in a couple of years now. And it started last week and it continues here yesterday, or 2 days ago now at this point, on Sunday. And so let's get right into the breakdown, because this might be a little bit of a longer video. So we're going to recap the rest of the games over the weekend, and we're going to skip the Patriots-Jets game because I already did my recap of that yesterday. So we will start with the game that probably was the most shocking. Not in a, I didn't think this was going to like blow my mind or anything, but I just thought it would be a little bit more competitive. And that is the Buffalo Bills versus the Miami Dolphins. Now, this game was the only one that had a shutout in it. The Dolphins got shut out by the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills won 35-0 over the Dolphins. Josh Allen looked pretty sloppy in the first half and then started to get it back a little bit at the end. This Dolphins team just wasn't really on point. Tua goes down with an injury, a rib injury that I've seen is not like super threatening to the season or anything. So it's not like super major by any means. I don't know if he's going to play this week, but he's probably not going to miss much more than this week if he does miss this week. So, but you never know. A rib injury is very, very fluid. You never know what's going to happen. They can get re-injured very quickly. So my MVP for the season, Josh Allen, the first 2 weeks hasn't looked that great. He didn't look that great in the loss to the Steelers in week 1, and he didn't really even look that great in the game against the Dolphins on Sunday. But he looked good enough. Obviously, the defense destroyed Jacoby Brissett, and the Dolphins offense really had no answer. The Dolphins defense played really well. I think they intercepted Josh Allen twice or something around that number. But overall, the Bills just were the better team. That's all you really can say. It sucks that Tua went down, but even with Tua in, they were not the better team. Then we move on to an interesting game because it was a battle of former Ohio State Buckeye quarterbacks. Yes, Ohio State Buckeye quarterbacks, not Ohio State versus LSU, because I don't acknowledge Joe Burrow as an LSU quarterback, only as an Ohio State Buckeye. So, the Bears and the Bengals, the Bears get the W 20-17. Joe Burrow struggled. Joe Burrow definitely struggled. I think he, at one point in the fourth quarter, had 3 straight passes where they were all intercepted, and I think 1 or 2 of them were pick sixes. I think it was just one. I think one pass by Roquan Smith. I know for sure it was a pick six. I can't remember if there's another one that was. So Justin Fields does get to enter the game and play a decent amount because Andy Dalton goes down with a knee injury. I have not seen anything about him being injured for more than this game. I don't know. I probably just have to go on Twitter and look. But the Bears do get the W. Justin Fields escapes with a victory. He looked like a rookie quarterback, but he looked better than what people, at least what I think people thought he was going to look like. He just needs some time. He did have a fumble. He needs to learn to hold it with 2 hands, and he's going to get better. He just needs time. This is literally his first action in more than just goal line situations. And so Justin Fields is going to get better. This Bears team is going to be pretty good. They've got a really good defense. Their offensive weapons are okay. David Montgomery, Allen Robinson, Darnell Mooney, they're good. They're good weapons for Justin Fields. Now I'm saying all this in terms of Justin Fields being the starting quarterback because obviously he should have been the starting quarterback from week 1. But now that Andy Dalton has this apparent knee injury, could we see Justin Fields get his first start this Sunday? I don't know. Or whenever the Bears play. I don't know when the Bears play. I'm assuming Sunday. But are we going to see Justin Fields start? I don't know. It all depends on if Andy Dalton is good to go or not. And I hope that he's not. Not because I hate Andy Dalton or anything. I just want to see Justin Fields start. So Bears get the W. Justin Fields doesn't get the win, but he looked okay in his first game. Then we move to the Broncos and the Jaguars, and Urban Meyer, I feel so bad for you, my guy. I am sorry that you have to be in this situation. You've inherited a god-awful team. The Jaguars are just so bad. They have nothing to look forward to except for Trevor Lawrence. I mean, this team is just bad. There's not a lot of weapons for Trevor to use, and Trevor hasn't even looked that great. He's looked like a rookie quarterback. He's looked worse than some of the other rookie quarterbacks. Mac Jones. I'm just saying, Trevor Lawrence has struggled a little bit. He's had his moments. He's had his bright spots, his shining moments where he's looked like he's going to be a franchise quarterback, which I'm not discounting because we're 2 weeks into the season of his first season. And he's on a really bad team. So I'm not discounting Trevor Lawrence by any means. But the Broncos do get the W 23-13. Teddy Two Gloves, Teddy Bridgewater played like Teddy Bridgewater. I mean, he did okay. They lost Jerry Jeudy last week, so Cortland Sutton stepped up. Tim Patrick stepped up. The Broncos are okay, I guess. They've already beaten, they're 2-0, so they've already beaten what I had their record as, which was a 1-win team, so I'm dumb, I guess. I'm an idiot. I thought the Broncos would be a little bit worse, but I guess I forgot the first 2 teams that they were going to play, they probably were going to beat. I just didn't give them credit for that. But then again, I thought the Jaguars would be a little bit better, and they're just not. They're just not that good of a team. They're going to struggle to get at least 3 wins. So they do lose Urban Meyer. I hope this doesn't affect his headaches at all because he's going to be losing a lot. This team's not good. And we move to a very interesting game. The Cleveland Browns versus the Houston Texans. Now, the Browns lost last Sunday to the Chiefs in what some may argue was the Browns' game to win, and they just couldn't do it. And then this week, they struggled a little bit. They struggled to put the Texans away. At the end, they did. They win 31-21. And the Texans were in this game for a lot of it. At some points, I thought the Texans were going to win this game. Baker threw an interception, and on the return, tries to tackle Justin Reed, the man who picked it off, and ends up hurting his shoulder. He did come back in the game on the next drive, but is that going to be a factor later in the season or next week even? I don't know. I don't know how much damage he did. It seemed to not be too crazy because he did come back. So I don't know if it'll affect him going forward or what. But Baker didn't really look that great. I mean, he looked okay. He looked good. But, I mean, not as good as he probably should have going up against a bad Texans team. But I've been told by a lot of people that the Texans are actually sneaky good. So I don't know what to believe at this point. I mean, Tyrod Taylor was looking actually really good until he goes down with that injury. And then they brought in Davis Mills. Chicago Cougars fans know Davis Mills, baby. And Davis Mills didn't look good at all. So maybe the Madden version of Davis Mills is better than the real life version. I don't know. But the Browns do get the win. They escape and I say escape because they definitely did escape the Houston Texans. There was threats that they were going to lose that game. They probably should have won by more, but I mean, they got the win, so it doesn't really matter. There are some concerns. I mean, the Browns have struggled these first 2 weeks, so there could be some cause for concerns, but I mean, we are 2 weeks in the season, so I'll hold my suspicions. I'll hold my analysis of this Browns team until we get a little bit later in the season. And Nick Chubb's just really good. That's really all you got to say about that. Nick Chubb is just really good. And then we move to the Rams and the Colts. The Rams do get the W 27-24. This game had me very frustrated because Carson Wentz, the quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts, goes down with a knee injury. I think it was either a knee or an ankle injury. He was in that general area of his leg. So Carson Wentz goes down with an injury. This is a very crucial moment in the game because they bring in their backup quarterback, Jacob Eason, rookie out of Washington, and he throws a pick on his first play. So, or maybe his first drive. And so and Carson Wentz doesn't come back at all in this entire game after he goes down with the injury. So he should have come back because he was up. He was putting pressure on his leg. He was moving around on the sidelines, doing some little drills and stuff, some little movements and stuff. So he had the strength to come back. He just didn't. I don't know if it was the fact that the coaching staff decided to pull him or if it was Carson Wentz's choice to not come back in the game. I can't see that as a possibility because if Carson Wentz is any type of competitor, he would want to come back in there. I mean, the Colts had a chance to win this game, but the Rams they walked away with it at the end once Carson Wentz, because there was no threat Jacob Eason was going to win that game. So the Rams get an easy W against a strange Carson Wentz-less Colts team. So take it for what it is. I don't know if Carson Wentz is going to be injured more than just this game or what. He probably should have come back, but that's just my opinion. The Raiders and the Steelers. I'm not going to lie, I was very excited the Steelers lost this game. The Raiders win 26-17. Derek Carr had a great game. I think he threw for 380 yards, somewhere around that range. And Big Ben didn't look that great. Had a decent day. Najee Harris is as a boss. He's amazing. TJ Watt goes down with a groin injury, can't return in the game. So that was really the end of their defense because TJ Watt really is their defense. Minkah Fitzpatrick doesn't really exist without TJ Watt there to help him. So the Raiders ended up torching the Steelers in the secondary. Henry Ruggs had like a 60-yard touchdown catch from Derek Carr. That was crazy. He was wide open. He just burned the corner, and then he burned Minkah as well. There was two guys covering him. And it was a good game, actually. The Steelers had a chance to come back. Raiders held on, won that game. Good job for the Raiders. They're 2-0 now. They obviously upset the Ravens on Monday night, I think it was. So they start 2-0, and the Raiders look pretty good this year. I mean, I was somebody who thought they would look decently well. Maybe like a 9-win team, a 10-win team, nothing crazy. But the Raiders, if they keep this pace, they're going to be a pretty good team. We're going to skip the Patriots-Jets game because we obviously covered that in yesterday's video. The Saints and the Panthers. Now, I don't remember this. Hold on. What's the score of this game? Saints, Panthers. It was a blowout, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure it was. Saints, Panthers. I'm pretty sure it was a blowout. I don't know. I think the Saints scored one touchdown. Hold on. My stuff's being slow right now. Are you going to work for me? I just need to know the score. I don't think it's going to load for me. Oh, here we go. Here we go. It's loading a little bit. I don't know why it's being slow. I got to get working on the router and stuff, but come on. I just need a little bit of loading time. Just find out the score. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I know that the Panthers won that game pretty heavily. And does this mean that Sam Darnold is a better quarterback than people gave him credit for? Possibly. Or does it mean that the Jets organization just doesn't know how to develop quarterbacks? That's probably the more likely situation. Now, when this whole situation happened where Sam Darnold got traded to the Panthers, I came out here and I said that I think Sam Darnold's going to be, if he turns out to be anything, it's not going to be a game changer. It's not going to be a top 5, top 10 quarterback in this league. It's going to be more along the lines of a game manager, somebody that's not going to lose you a football game, somebody that's going to get you in winning situations for your athletes around you and your big-time playmakers around you, like Christian McCaffrey and DJ Moore, to win you those football games. So that's exactly what Sam Darnold did on Sunday. He got Christian McCaffrey heavily involved. And by the way, Christian McCaffrey came off of the injury last season, looks really good. Christian McCaffrey looks unbelievable, like unstoppable during the season right now. So I don't know what's going to happen with him. Is he going to win MVP? I don't know. But Christian McCaffrey looks really good. The Panthers blow out the Saints, who everybody thought the Saints were going to be pretty good this year when they beat the Packers and blew them out in week 1. that may have just been a fluke situation. Jameis Winston had 5 touchdowns, but he only had like 100 and something yards. So maybe that was a fluke situation, because this week we saw the actual Jameis Winston, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers version of Jameis Winston, where he was throwing interceptions in multi-man coverage and throwing just bad decision making, and it was just a whole bad situation for Jameis. So Panthers get the W in a big win, and Sam Darnold looked pretty good. Christian McCaffrey obviously looked really good. We got 49ers Eagles 17-11. 49ers win. This was a defensive battle. Both the defenses for both teams really went after each other and went back and forth. Jimmy Garoppolo and the 49ers offense ended up getting a little bit more open than Jalen Hurts and the Eagles offense. Although Jalen Hurts did have a really good play to Quez Watkins. That was an amazing throw from the goal line in the end zone. He threw a deep ball to Quez Watkins, and he took it, like, I think, to the 10-yard line, or maybe even closer. So that was a really cool play. But is Jalen Hurts for real? I don't know. I mean, he looked good in week 1. He looked pretty good in week 2. Is he going to be able to sustain that? Is this offense good enough to allow him to be good? I don't know. I don't believe in this Eagles offense that much. So I think Jalen Hurts can be a pretty decent quarterback. I don't know how well he's going to do this season. He might need a little bit more time to develop. Good win for the 49ers, though. Tampa Bay against the Falcons. Easy dubs for Tom Brady. This game was never in doubt. I know it seemed like it was when it was a close game, but Falcons, they don't have an answer. The Falcons are not good. If there's any team in this league that you know is going to lose you a game, it's the Atlanta Falcons, because they are just not good. Matt Ryan's not a good quarterback anymore. Some may argue he never was a good quarterback. This defense is not that good. Their offense is nothing. This Falcons team is really bad. They don't know how to beat Tom Brady. They're 0-9 now against Tom Brady. He's got their number. Tom Brady's living in Matt Ryan's head rent-free. It's a whole bad situation. And Tampa looks really good. They look really good. It's going to be a tough NFC this season. They win 48-25. Cardinals and Vikings. Cardinals win on a missed field goal by the Vikings in the final minutes. I was thinking it was overtime, but that was not the game. That was overtime. We'll get to that. Cardinals win 34-33. Cardinals look really good. They've got an explosive offense. Kyler Murray, I've had my doubts. I've had my questions about Kyler Murray. He looked decently good. My questions and my concerns is he going to be, is he going to be able to stay healthy? His first couple seasons, he's been banged up at the later part of the season. He's a little smaller in stature, as we all know from the memes and stuff. Is he going to be able to stay healthy? Is this offense going to work? Because this is a very college-heavy influenced offense. So our team's going to adapt to that? I don't know. But for right now, they look very explosive, very good. So Cardinals get the W on a missed field goal to win the game from the Vikings. Cowboys and Chargers. Cowboys win on a field goal. And some argue that the Chargers should have won. I probably would be on that side, that the Chargers probably should have won this game. But Greg Zuerlein wins it with a field goal. And Dak Prescott is Dak Prescott, man. What can you say about Dak Prescott? He's a really good effing quarterback. I mean, Dak Prescott is really good. Zeke Elliott struggled a little bit. He struggles to get open lanes. It wasn't always like that, but I don't know, the past couple seasons he's struggled. This defense is getting better. They're still not that good, but they are getting better. And Justin Herbert's just a young quarterback. Justin Herbert needs a little bit more time to develop. He's got some weapons to use, so he just needs some more time to develop. And in a couple seasons, Justin Herbert's going to be really good. And maybe in a couple seasons, maybe next season, if they play this same game, the Chargers end up winning because Justin Herbert had that time to develop. Who knows what will happen, but Cowboys do get a win on a last-second field goal by Greg the Leg Zuerlein. And now we get to the overtime game, the Titans and the Seahawks. What a game, by the way. Derrick Henry, King Henry is just, I've talked about this in the past where I thought Derrick Henry should have been MVP last year. I may be changing my pick for MVP this year, and I may be making it Derrick Henry instead of Josh Allen. I gave Derrick Henry the Offensive Player of the Year. Give him both, because Derrick Henry is just a god. He is a literal king because nobody wants to tackle. He just runs hard. I love Derrick Henry so much. I wish he was my brother because he's just that good. And the Seahawks should have won this game. I know I've said that about a couple teams in this recap, but the Seahawks definitely should have won this game. The Titans win and 33-30. They shouldn't have. The Seahawks were up big in this game in the fourth quarter, or in the third quarter, I think, and then in the fourth quarter, the Titans started to come back. Tannehill didn't look that good. I don't think Tannehill's that good of a quarterback. I think he's more of a lesser of a game manager at this point, and more of just trying to hand the ball to Derrick Henry. Julio looked really, really good in this game. Obviously, last week he struggled a little bit with a couple drops and stuff, but he looked really good this week. A.J. Brown was the one that struggled this week. Like I said, Derrick Henry looks really good. That defense is okay. I mean, they let up a lot of points, but they are going up against the Seahawks. So everybody's going to let up a lot of points when the Seahawks are playing you. There was one play that was unacceptable, and it was the Tyler Lockett touch. I know it was the Swain. I forget his first name, but the Swain touchdown was unacceptable because he was like, there was nobody around him for like 10 to 15 yards. So, and I think Tyler Lockett even had a big touchdown too. So the defense needs a little bit of work for the Tennessee Titans, but overall they get the W in overtime. It was a back and forth game in overtime too. I thought the Seahawks were going to win, but they couldn't get it done when they got the ball back. So, I mean, it sucks for them, but they probably should have won that game. They're probably kicking themselves right now because they definitely should have won that game. And then we get to the Sunday night football game, the final game of this recap, because obviously I'm recording this. Well, not obviously for you guys because you probably don't know, but I am recording this before the Monday night game against the Packers and with the Packers against the Lions, because I just don't have time to record it tonight when the game happens. So, Chiefs and Ravens, what a crazy game this was. I mean, you would think it's going to be a crazy game because it's Patrick Mahomes versus Lamar Jackson, but it exceeded expectations. It was a wild game, back and forth, big play after big play, trading shots like a boxing match. It was wild, and in the end, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, with a chance to get the Chiefs into field goal range to kick the game-winning field goal, fumbles the football. Odafe Oweh strips that ball out, recovers it himself, and then Lamar Jackson gets a first down and ices the game. I mean, it was a wild game. I thought the Chiefs were going to win. I thought the moment that the Ravens missed that 2-point conversion after scoring to go up 36-35, once they missed that, I was like, oh my God, because there was still like 2 minutes left to go in the game. And I was like, Chiefs are going to win this game. Patrick Mahomes, they gave him way too much time. They're going to win this game easy. And they probably should have, but Edwards-Helaire, just like in the Patriots-Dolphins game last week, a fumble cost the team the victory. Lamar Jackson looked really good, and he had this play where he threw the ball to, I think it was Hollywood Brown, that like absolutely off. He was in the air when he threw it, both feet off the ground. He throws this football. No human should be able to make this play. And Lamar Jackson threw it and actually completed it. It was a crazy play. I can't believe I actually witnessed this with both my eyes because, I mean, both these guys are crazy. Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, nobody's saying that they're not crazy. Nobody's saying that they're not two of the best quarterbacks in the league. But this game exceeded expectations. I didn't think that it was going to be this high-powered of a game. I thought it was going to be a lot of scoring. I didn't think it was going to be this crazy of a football game. And Lamar Jackson is just a freak of nature. He went for like 100-plus yards rushing, 200-plus in the air. He's just a freak of nature. And obviously you got Patrick Mahomes, who's crazy too. So Ravens end up getting the win in shocking fashion because everybody had the Chiefs winning this game. I even had the Chiefs winning this game. I thought the Chiefs were going to win in the late stages, but you can never really account for a fumble in the costly situations like that with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. It sucks for him, man. That's his first fumble ever in the NFL, and it came at a really bad time. So that is my recap of the rest of the NFL from week 2. Probably in the Thursday night football game on Thursday, in the preview, I will recap a little bit. I'll mention a little bit about the Packers and Lions, just to fully recap the rest of week 2. And then we'll talk about the Panthers and the Texans, which is Thursday night football this week. So get excited for that, boys. But that's going to do it for this recap. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Make sure to smash that like button if you did. Hit that notification bell and the subscription button as well. Join the Juice Club. Let me know down below if you guys thought there was any crazy things that happened in this game. And if you guys were shocked by any of the results that happened in week 2 of NFL Sunday football. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching again. Smash that like button, subscribe, join the Juice Club. I said that already. Peace.